So good mood because the Tigers won. Now I'm not sensing Detroit's getting very excited about this team, and I sort of understand it because it takes a lot to shift deep-seated preseason expectations. And I guess factually they are still under 500, but they're 2.5 out of first. And remember the goal given the schedule for the first 40 games?
Yeah.
When I said 17. You're like, oh, be happy if they got to.
I said I wanted 15. I just get me to 15, and I would be satisfied given the what that stretch of games looked like. Well, then 25 games into that stretch, you start looking at the last 15, like, wait a minute. These teams ended up not being very good baseball teams. The Tigers might actually be able to get closer, but I'll still stick with 15. Here they've already got 16. Your guy, you were hoping 17.
And I wasn't predicting 17. I was saying, God, I'd take 17.
Right, exactly.
Because 6 games under after a brutal 40-game stretch to open the season where, I mean, at one point, I think they had 3 series in the first 40 games against teams whose over-under win total in Vegas was below 500. So everybody is supposed to be better than them, and you could see how that could lead to a terrible start to the season, which would have people quickly checking out. Now, we are quick here to check in, okay? We are just the opposite. We will get excited for any little successes because it's more fun that way. But I recognize that 16 and 18 after 34 games is nothing to get stoked about. I said winning the American League Central feels like winning the MAC East. Like, okay, cool, but you're not winning the college football playoff, right? The Tigers in this battle for the American League Central, it's a battle of who wants it less. And right now, I mean, Minnesota's the only team over 500. The Tigers are in second place. And the Tigers look like the better team last night. Like watching that game last night, I'm like, the Detroit Tigers deserve to win this game. But it basically came down to barring a bullpen collapse, which once again the bullpen didn't. As they got the job done. The bats came through. There were timely hittings, a bunch of guys, and then the bullpen slammed the door.
Yeah.
It's a Tigers formula.
Well, you look at it is the Tigers formula. And you look at Cleveland, and that is not the Cleveland roster we're used to seeing that has always been troublesome. They still have Ramirez. He's still a trouble. He's still trouble you got to look out for. But he's also the guy they struck out 4 times in a game last month. Mm-hmm. But he, launched a home run because it's what he does, man. I mean, he's been so good for so long here. But beyond, what do they have? Quad's a really good player. He gets on base and he can move around the base paths. But beyond that, there's not a whole lot to be afraid of at all when it comes to Cleveland's roster. And the Tigers roster right now, guys are hitting the ball hard. They pounded out 13 hits last night.
Real hard.
Real hard, Doug. And Andy Ibanez, 0-10 start, wasn't doing anything. And since then, he's, 9 for 17 or something? I forget what I wrote down the number. But he's been outstanding since then.
He's an interesting dude.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what to make of him.
I mean, they're playing him everywhere they can just because they want the bat in the lineup. And so far, he's been okay defensively, I guess. But Eric Haas with 3 more hits last night. He's hitting close to 300. You get McKinstry and Riley Green with a couple hits each. And, Riley Green had that hit streak, missed a game, then it stopped, and now he's back on again. I mean, he's looking good. We joke about how hard Torkelson hits the ball, but he really does hit the ball hard.
He really does.
Smoked a double last night, and Javi Baez is back to being the Baez you traded for, with the exception of another error last night. But, I mean, hitting the ball, he hits it real hard, Doug, and has been a real plus player since being sat down. And he's hitting like 340 since that series in Toronto.
Well, look, it's nice to see tough pitching matchup tonight, to say the least. But hey, Tigers won the opener. We asked them to split the first 2 and put the series in Eduardo Rodriguez's hands on Wednesday.
Well, look, they took care of Verlander. They took care of Scherzer. What's Bieber?
Bieber's a lot younger and probably closer to his prime than those two. That's what Bieber is.
That's a great answer.